So, Peter, this whole case made you just retire, right? Peter said, I just can't do it no more. I gotta, Mary, it's up to you. We got you there.
No more hair.
But I can understand working with Dora would be a pleasure, you know, within itself. So, yeah, just get it done. Get it done. And I know you guys will. Okay, now we come to our final honoree, guys. Tiffany. Where's Tiffany? Tiffany Duvernay?
Yes.
Ooh, I got that. Tiffany Duvernay. Tiffany has been a tenant at a community of friends, 39th West Apartments, for the past 4 years. Tiffany entered into homelessness, occurred in her 30s, when she became involved in an abusive relationship. She went from a stable person working full-time to someone who experienced years of physical, emotional, verbal, and spiritual abuse that resulted in her homelessness. For 5 years, she lived in her car, hotels, couch, surfed with friends, lived in a garage, and as a live-in helper in a transitional housing, and was incarcerated before finally connecting with a social service agency that referred her to ACOF. Since moving into ACOF home, Tiffany has become an advocate for people who are not yet able to advocate for themselves. She is a frequent speaker about the importance of affordable housing connected to services, including presentations to law enforcement about her life experiences, about domestic violence and mental issues. ACOF Tenants Advisory Council selected the tenants honor, and the council chose to honor Tiffany in recognition of her overcoming obstacles to lead a stable and productive life. And her accomplishments have been remarkable. So guys, please help me welcome Tiffany Duvernay to the stage.
My story has been told, but now you're going to hear my version. I had a beautiful, amazing fantasy childhood. I grew up participating in dance recitals and traveling. My mother worked for TWA as a reservations agent, which allowed me to travel the world by the age of 10. My mother passed away when I was 11, and I went to live with my dad and my stepmother from the 7th grade through the 12th grade, which laid a foundation of normalcy for dysfunction and verbal abuse, while the other side of my family constantly told me to stick in there and work it out until I finished high school. Moving forward, I was baptized at the age of 21 and diligently followed the scriptures. I wanted to be righteous, please God, and win souls for Christ. I did just that, and I experienced so much love and many deep friendships. This was my family. I was able to forgive my dad and my stepmother for things I experienced under their care. But like I said, those experiences laid a foundation for a future abusive relationship. I had grown weary spiritually by age 33. I know I don't even look 33, right? I had grown weary spiritually by age 33 from not ever having a boyfriend, let alone marriage, and not yet having children. I got entangled with someone who I thought was a Christian, but in no way followed the scriptures. From age 33 to 38, I was in a relationship with someone who was abusive and a narcissist. I was arrested twice. I became a person who I didn't recognize. Abuse isn't always physical. It's verbal, mental, and emotional. It's also spiritual, educational, and financial. I was fired from corporate America in 2008 for being late due to arguing every morning before work. My background is money numbers and spreadsheets, purchasing, planning, and accounting. Those messages of staying there and working out replayed in my mind, and I became abusive. I sought out therapy for a couple of years to deal with all the anxiety I was experiencing and the parts of me I didn't recognize. 3 years into this relationship, I became homeless, but I was still with this man for another 2 years. I was homeless for 5 years total, living in my car, secretly sleeping in someone's garage, living here and there and being very unstable. I've had a friend since the age of 3 who's here with me today as my sister, who let me take showers at her apartment when I needed to bathe. I left that toxic relationship when I realized I would end up dead or in jail, on accident or on purpose. My healing began when I went to get cash and food stamps and told my worker I wanted to leave that abusive relationship. She referred me to Prototypes, and I left my abuser 3 months later and stayed in domestic violence support groups at Prototypes for 5 years. At the same time, my regular doctor referred me to 12 sessions of depression therapy. That therapist referred me to a PTSD therapy who I had 40 sessions with. I refused medication with both therapists, and I asked for skills versus pills. I was determined to find out why I chose that abusive relationship, why I stayed so long, and how to never choose him again in another person, because that's what I've seen other people do. At Prototypes, I filled out low-income housing applications, and 2.5 years later, I heard from a community of friends. And I've been living in an ACOF building just over 4 years. I received several certifications to help my community, including the Domestic Violence Advocate certification. I like to call myself an empowerment specialist. I currently help elementary school children learn the game of chess. I advocate at the city, county, and state level for mental health, homelessness, victims of domestic violence, and also the formerly incarcerated. I recently began therapy again for some grief I experienced in 2017, and also some anxiety I'm starting to experience now because a lot of changes going on in my life. And so I know when to check myself in. I advocate for healthy relationships and I only want a healthy relationship. Well, I met this loving, handsome man on Crenshaw almost 2 years ago. We were both leading a conference for the re-entry population and both advocating for housing for the formerly incarcerated. And he's here with me today because I married him 16 months ago. We wasted no time. In a couple of weeks, I would have only known him 2 years, but he's all my answered prayers in one person. So I knew right away. Thank you to ACOF for giving me peace, for giving me a place to lay my head, a place to call home, a place to breathe, a place to heal, think, relax, and thrive. I had a lot going on spiritually while I've been there the last 4 years, and I'm proud to say that I have my relationship with God back again. We recently received a moving on voucher, which is a Section 8 voucher, and we'll be moving in a couple of months. And it's not easy to leave ACOF. I actually think I might be being like re-traumatized just with the process of moving because of what ACOF represents. But I'm a big girl now, and it is okay to leave the place that caught me when I failed so hard. You will always be a positive memory in my journey through homelessness and the battle for my mental well-being. Thank you so very much, and thank you to Dora.
This is one of the reasons I know that I got involved with Community of Friends.